Hello everyone. Today we're going to dive into a fascinating topic that could transform your financial life, the millionaire mindset. What does it really mean to have the millionaire mindset? It's not just about accumulating wealth, but rather developing a mindset that allows you to not only make money, but also preserve it over time. You will see how your emotions, behaviors, and decisions shape your relationship with money. Before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel to continue receiving more videos like this. Without further ado, let's get into the video. 1. Behavior matters more than technical knowledge. Have you ever stopped to think that, when it comes to money, the most important thing is not how much you know, but how you behave with it? This idea may seem simple, but many people still don't understand it. Most people believe that financial success is directly related to how much you understand about economics, investments, and numbers. However, the reality is that behavior with money is much more relevant than any technical knowledge you may have. Let's imagine two people, Anna and Bruno. Anna is a true expert in finance. She knows everything about interest rates, investments, and economic strategies. However, despite all this knowledge, she has a bad habit. Whenever she sees something she likes, she doesn't think twice and ends up buying it, even if she doesn't need it. On the other hand, we have Bruno. He doesn't know much about finance, but he has something special. He is very careful and always thinks twice before spending. He manages to save a part of what he earns every month. Now, who do you think will have more financial success in the long run? The answer may be surprising. It's Bruno, the person who controls his impulses and makes more conscious decisions. What the book, The Psychology of Finance, teaches us is exactly this. How you behave with money is more important than understanding every detail of the financial market. You can be a true investment expert, but if you don't know how to control your desires and impulsive spending, this knowledge becomes almost useless. The secret is to act consciously and responsibly, instead of letting yourself be carried away by the emotion of the moment. Let's think of a simpler example to understand this better. Imagine a piggy bank. You start putting coins in it every day, even if it's just a little. Over time, the safe fills up, and before you know it, you'll have a good amount saved. But what if every time the safe fills up, you decide to break it to spend on things you don't need? What will happen? You'll never be able to accumulate a significant amount. The important thing here is to understand that, to make money grow, you need patience and discipline. It's not just about earning money, but about how you manage what you already have. The truth is that financial success doesn't come from knowledge alone, but above all, from the ability to make wise and thoughtful choices. So, before you worry about knowing everything about finances, ask yourself, how do I manage the money I already have? Am I making decisions that will help me achieve my financial goals? How you behave with money is what really makes the difference. If you can control your impulses, be disciplined and think long-term, you'll be much ahead of those who know a lot but can't act consciously. This is the real key to financial success, understanding that, instead of getting lost in the details, the important thing is what we do with what we already have. 2. Experiences shape our view of money. Now, let's talk about how life experiences influence the way each of us sees and deals with money. Have you ever noticed that each person has a unique way of thinking about finances? This is no coincidence. The way we live, the situations we face, and even the conversations we hear since we were children shape our view of money. To understand this, let's imagine two children, Luisa and Carlos. Luisa grew up in a family that always had financial difficulties. Since she was little, she heard phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," and "we need to save." These teachings were very important in her life, but they also created a fear of taking risks. For Luisa, money is something scarce, something that one has to fight for with great effort. She spends her life seeking security and has difficulty thinking about investments, because risk scares her. For her, money is a source of worry. Now, let's look at Carlos. He is the son of parents who have always had financial stability. From an early age, he saw his parents investing in things that really mattered and even talking about how to make money grow. For Carlos, money is a tool that can be used to achieve goals and not something to be feared. He is more likely to take calculated risks because he believes that with planning and knowledge, he can achieve what he wants. These two stories show that our experiences shape our attitudes and beliefs about money. What does this mean in practice? It means that when dealing with money, it is essential to recognize where our view of it comes from. If you grew up in an environment where money was always a concern, you may need to work on this mindset to open yourself up to new possibilities, such as investing and taking risks in search of greater returns. And this is not easy. We need to remember that changing the way we think about money is a process. It is not something that happens overnight. It can take time to undo ingrained beliefs and feel more comfortable with the idea of investing or taking risks. An important tip is to reflect on your own experiences. Ask yourself, how did my family handle money when I was growing up? What lessons did I learn about the rights and wrongs of money? This reflection can be a powerful first step toward understanding how you can change your relationship with money in the future. Ultimately, the experiences we have don't have to define our relationship with money forever. We can learn and change. The key is to be open to new ideas and approaches, allowing knowledge and self-control to guide us toward a healthier, more prosperous mindset. 3. The desire for more is never satisfied. Now, let's explore a fascinating aspect of human nature, our desire for more. It's almost a universal truth that, no matter how much we have, we always want a little more. Have you ever noticed how often, when we achieve something, instead of feeling satisfied, we start to desire something else? This behavior can be both motivating and dangerous. Let's imagine the story of two friends, Peter and Julia. Peter has always dreamed of owning a sports car. After a lot of effort, he finally manages to buy the car of his dreams. In the first few days, he feels on cloud 9, but soon realizes that, as he drives his new car, he starts to notice other models that are even more expensive and impressive. Soon, the joy of having the new car turns into a new dissatisfaction. He starts to think, if I had that car, I would be even happier. On the other hand, we have Julia. She also dreamed of owning a car, but when she finally got a model that met her needs, she decided to make the most of what she already had. Instead of looking at the fancy cars that others have, Julia focuses on the things that really matter: traveling, spending time with friends, and enjoying life. She realizes that instead of chasing more, she can find fulfillment in the experiences and people around her. This difference in attitudes is fundamental. The desire for more can lead us to an insatiable search that, instead of bringing us happiness, generates a cycle of constant comparison and dissatisfaction. This is the famous social comparison trap. There will always be someone who has more, who has earned more, and this can make you feel like you are always behind, no matter how much you have achieved. In addition, it is important to remember that this incessant desire for more can have financial consequences. Many people end up getting into debt to satisfy this need to consume more and more. Greed can make us lose focus on what is really important and lead us to make bad decisions. Think of people who, instead of investing in something concrete, become addicted to gambling or hoping to win the lottery, believing that a stroke of luck will solve all their financial problems. What can we learn here? It is essential to find a balance. Instead of living in search of a new desire, we can focus on being grateful for what we already have and finding satisfaction in the little things in life. When we achieve this, we realize that true happiness does not come from accumulating possessions, but from appreciating the experiences and moments that bring us joy. Remember, life is about finding purpose and meaning, not just about accumulating material things. By shifting our focus from wanting more to appreciating what I have, we can not only improve our mental health, but also our financial health. Did you know that? Tell me in the comments below and I'll give your comment a heart. 4. The constant search for more. Now let's talk about a behavior that many of us face: the constant search for more. Have you ever noticed how, often, even when we get a raise in salary, or when we win an award, it's not enough to satisfy us? It seems that, instead of enjoying what we have, we start dreaming of something bigger. Let's imagine a young man named Lucas. He works hard and, after some time, he receives a significant raise in salary. At first, he's super excited. With this raise, he plans to take a dream trip and buy some things he's always wanted. But, as soon as he adapts to the new situation, something curious happens. He starts to notice that his friends have better cars, that some of them are taking even more incredible trips, and soon finds himself thinking, if I earned even more, I could do all of that too. This feeling is common and is called lifestyle inflation. It's as if, with each new achievement, our mind pushes us to aim for something even greater. The problem is that this relentless pursuit can make us lose focus on what really matters. Instead of enjoying what we have already achieved, we are always thinking about the next step, the next goal. Now, let's look at a different story. We have Anna, an entrepreneur who started a small business. With each success, she celebrates her achievements, but she also asks herself how she can improve and grow. Instead of getting carried away by comparing herself to others, she focuses on her own path and asks herself, what do I really want for my life? She learns to be grateful for what she has and to use her earnings wisely, investing in her business and saving for the future. This difference in attitudes is fundamental. The constant pursuit of more can leave us anxious and dissatisfied. But when we focus on our own goals and learn to value our achievements, we find much greater satisfaction. The secret is knowing how to balance ambition with gratitude. By pursuing what is truly important to us, we can free ourselves from the external pressure to always have more. Remember, it's natural to want to improve, but it's also essential to recognize and appreciate where we are right now. Life shouldn't be a race, but rather a journey full of learning and moments to celebrate. So the next time you feel the pressure to want more, pause and ask yourself, am I really dissatisfied or am I just comparing myself to others? This reflection can be the key to a more balanced and happy life, where the search for more doesn't become a source of stress, but rather an opportunity for growth and learning. 5. The danger of taking excessive risks. Now, let's talk about something very important, the danger of taking excessive risks, especially when it comes to money. Sometimes, in the search for great returns, we end up taking risks that can be too risky, as if we were betting on a lottery game, hoping that luck will favor us. Let's imagine the story of Ricardo. He is a young man full of dreams and, after watching some advertisements about investments that promise fast and high returns, he decides to invest all his money in a startup that seems promising. He gets carried away by the idea that, if everything goes well, he can get rich quickly. But what Ricardo doesn't realize is that most of these startups don't manage to survive and that the risk of losing his investment is very high. Unfortunately, Ricardo ends up losing almost everything. He realizes, too late, that the rush to make money quickly led him to an impulsive decision. This type of behavior is common among many investors who seek shortcuts instead of solid, well-founded strategies. Now, let's talk about a different example, Beatrice's story. She also dreamed of investing and learned about several investment options. However, instead of rushing into things, Beatrice decided to study the market and the different types of investments more. She started with a conservative approach, investing in stocks of companies that already had a solid history and good performance. Over time, she diversified her investments, always keeping a portion of her money in safer options. The difference between Ricardo and Beatrice is clear. While Ricardo got carried away by the excitement of quick gains, Beatrice made informed and calculated choices. She understood that, although taking risks is part of the game, the important thing is to know how much risk you are willing to take and, most importantly, to be aware of the consequences. Taking excessive risks is not just about money, it can also affect our mental health and well-being. The anxiety and stress that come from bad financial decisions can impact other aspects of our lives. That's why it's essential to find a balance. What we need to understand is that successful investments usually come with patience and planning, not with the rush to get immediate results. In short, learning to take risks wisely is key. It's possible to seek greater returns, but always with awareness and strategy. Ask yourself, am I doing this on impulse or am I making an informed decision? By reflecting on this, you'll be better prepared to navigate the financial world, avoiding the dangers of greed and rash decisions. 6. The difference between making money and keeping it. Now let's explore a key topic in the world of finance, the difference between making money and keeping it. Many people achieve financial success, but not everyone manages to maintain that wealth over time. This difference is crucial and can determine who becomes truly financially secure. Let's imagine the story of Andrew. He is an entrepreneur who, after years of hard work, manages to build a very profitable business. He starts making a lot of money and feels like he's on top of the world. However, Andrew also starts spending extravagantly. He buys a huge house, luxury cars and goes on expensive trips. Over time, he becomes so focused on spending that he doesn't pay attention to how to manage his wealth. Unfortunately, one day the market changes and his business suffers. Andrew finds himself in a difficult situation, with no financial reserves to deal with the crisis. He realizes that although he has made a lot of money, he has not known how to keep it. Now let's meet Laura. She has also made a good amount of money from her small business. Instead of spending impulsively, Laura makes a careful financial plan. She sets a budget, invests a portion of her profits, and builds an emergency fund. Laura understands that in order to stay financially stable, she needs to be wise with her decisions, even when things are going well. The difference between Andrew and Laura is clear. While Andrew got carried away by success and spending, Laura prioritized managing and preserving her assets. Making money is certainly important, but knowing how to keep it is even more crucial. One of the keys to this is accepting that past success does not guarantee future success. What worked before may not work again, and it is essential to have a strategy that protects your assets. One valuable concept is failure-proofing. This means creating a system that will withstand crises and unforeseen events. This can include diversifying investments, avoiding unnecessary debt, and maintaining an emergency fund. In addition, it is vital to develop a long-term mindset. Instead of focusing only on immediate gains, think about how your financial decisions today will affect your future. You can even visualize your financial future and set goals to help you stay on track. In short, learning how to save money is an ongoing process that requires planning and discipline. By focusing on solid strategies and avoiding the splurge trap, you'll be better equipped to ensure that the wealth you earn not only stays, but grows over time. 7. The importance of consistency. Now, let's talk about the importance of consistency, which is one of the secrets to achieving long-term financial success. We often see people get excited about investments or financial plans, but this excitement doesn't last. What really makes the difference is the ability to maintain a consistent effort over time. Let's learn about Felipe's story. He had always dreamed of investing in stocks, but when he finally decided to do it, he started with great enthusiasm. In the first few months, he made regular contributions and followed the markets with dedication. However, as soon as there was a small drop in stock prices, Felipe became worried and decided to stop investing, thinking he was losing money. Over time, he completely withdrew from the market, missing out on the opportunity to see his investment grow. Now, let's look at Marina's story. She also started investing, but she had a different approach. From the beginning, Marina understood that the market could have ups and downs. Instead of giving in to anxiety, she set up a long-term investment plan and continued to make regular contributions, regardless of market fluctuations. She didn't worry too much about temporary dips because she knew that over time, her investment would recover. And that's exactly what happened. Over time, Marina saw her wealth grow steadily. The difference between Felipe and Marina is consistency. While Felipe let fear and anxiety rule his decisions, Marina stayed focused on her plan. This consistency is key, because investments tend to thrive over time, and small, regular contributions can add up to large sums. Consistency doesn't just apply to investments, but to other aspects of your financial life as well. For example, when saving money, even in small amounts, the discipline of doing so regularly can result in a significant reserve. It's like building a sandcastle, every grain counts, and with patience and persistence, you can create something incredible. So the next time you feel unmotivated or tempted to give up on your financial goals, remember the importance of consistency. Small, consistent actions taken over time can lead to big results. Be patient, stick to your goals, and celebrate each small achievement along the way. After all, your financial journey is a marathon, not a sprint. If you want to know everything about having a lot of money, then check out the Millionaire Mindset playlist in the card above. Now, into number 8. 8. Dealing with economic downturns. Now, let's address a topic that can be challenging for many people: how to deal with economic downturns. These situations can be scary and can affect our investments, our jobs, and of course, our financial health. But with the right mindset and appropriate strategies, it is possible to navigate these downturns effectively. Let's tell you the story of Daniel. He had a stable job and regularly invested in stocks. However, when an economic downturn hit, his employer decided to cut costs and, unfortunately, Daniel was one of those laid off. At first, he panicked, wondering how he would pay his bills and what would happen to his investments. But instead of giving in to despair, he decided to take action. Daniel had already built up an emergency fund and, although he didn't have a job at the time, he knew he could count on these reserves to support himself for a few months. At the same time, Daniel started looking for new opportunities. He used his free time to improve his skills, take online courses, and even consider freelancing. When the economy began to recover, Daniel was ready to reinvent himself and find a new job, and he had already landed some freelance work. Now, let's look at Juliana's story. She also faced a crisis in her business, but unlike Daniel, she had not prepared. She had no savings, and when sales dropped, she quickly ran out of money. Juliana learned the hard way that you can't underestimate the importance of having a crisis plan. The difference between Daniel and Juliana is clear. While Daniel was prepared and knew how to deal with the situation, Juliana didn't have a strategy and suffered the consequences. Dealing with economic crises requires preparation and a resilient mindset. Here are some tips for getting through these challenging times. Build an emergency fund. Having a financial reserve can be your lifeline in difficult times. Try to accumulate the equivalent of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Diversify your investments, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This means having a variety of investments to minimize risk. Stay calm and assess the situation. During a crisis, it is easy to panic. Try to stay calm and evaluate your options rationally. Be open to new opportunities. Often, crises can open doors to new opportunities that you had never considered before. Stay flexible and ready to adapt. Continually educate yourself. Knowledge is one of the best resources you can have. Invest in yourself, learn new skills, and stay up to date with the market. Remember that economic crises are a part of life, and while they can be challenging, they also provide opportunities for learning and growth. By preparing yourself and maintaining a positive mindset, you can not only survive these times, but also emerge stronger and wiser. 9. The seduction of pessimism. Now let's explore a topic that can be a major stumbling block for many of us, the seduction of pessimism. In times of uncertainty, it's easy to get carried away by fear and negative news. This mindset can lead us to make poor financial decisions and to be hesitant to invest or pursue new opportunities. To illustrate this, let's look at the story of Anna. She had always been a cautious investor, and when she started hearing about economic crises, market uncertainty, and what might happen in the future, she began to get very worried. Each piece of news she heard seemed worse than the last. Anna eventually decided that the best thing to do was to withdraw all of her investments from the market. She thought that doing so would protect herself from a major loss. On the other hand, we have Carlos. He was also aware of the crises and bad news, but instead of getting carried away by pessimism, he decided to stay calm. Carlos had studied market fluctuations and knew that these fluctuations were normal. Instead of withdrawing his investments, he continued to invest regularly, buying stocks when prices were low. Carlos understood that the history of the market is full of ups and downs, and that what matters is the long-term view. The difference between Anna and Carlos is the way they dealt with information. Anna was seduced by pessimism and made a rash decision, while Carlos opted for a more rational and strategic approach. This seduction of pessimism can be very powerful, and it is important to know how to deal with it. Here are some tips for maintaining a positive mindset in difficult times. Filter the information. Not every news item you hear is relevant to your financial decisions. Try to focus on reliable sources and information that really helps you understand what is happening. Keep a long-term perspective. Remember that markets are volatile, but the general trend over time is usually upward. Don't get carried away by momentary fluctuations. Educate yourself. Knowledge is a powerful weapon against fear. The more you know about investing and finances, the more confident you'll feel when making decisions. Focus on positive actions. Instead of dwelling on the bad news, think about actions you can take to improve your financial situation. This could be learning a new skill, saving more, or investing more wisely. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people who have an optimistic mindset and encourage you to keep moving forward. Positive energy can be contagious. Dealing with the lure of pessimism isn't easy, but it's essential for anyone who wants to be financially successful. By cultivating an optimistic, solution-focused mindset, you'll be able to overcome challenges and seize opportunities that arise, even in difficult times. 10. The difference between making money and staying rich. Now let's discuss a very important distinction: the difference between making money and staying rich. Many people may be successful in accumulating a certain amount of wealth, but the real skill lies in maintaining that wealth over time. To illustrate this, let's look at Roberto's story. He was a talented businessman and, in a short space of time, he managed to amass a large fortune through his business. He made large investments, lived a luxurious life and seemed to have everything he wanted. However, Roberto had no strategy for preserving his wealth. He spent a lot and took risks in high-risk investments, believing that he would always be able to earn more. Unfortunately, when the market went through a crisis, Roberto's business began to struggle. He had no financial reserves and quickly lost a large part of his fortune. Roberto learned the hard way that making money is only the first step, knowing how to keep it is the real challenge. On the other hand, we have Luisa's story. She didn't start out with a lot of capital, but she always had a mindset focused on preserving her wealth. Luisa invested regularly, saved a portion of her earnings, and diversified her investments. When economic crises hit, she remained calm and didn't let herself get carried away by anxiety. Instead of making hasty withdrawals, Luisa stuck to her long-term strategy. The difference between Roberto and Luisa is clear. Roberto focused solely on making money, while Luisa focused on strategies to maintain her wealth. Here are some tips to ensure that you not only make money, but also preserve it. Set a financial plan. Having a well-defined plan for how you will invest and spend your money is essential. This includes budgets, savings goals, and investment strategies. Invest in financial education. Knowledge about finances is key to understanding how to preserve and multiply your wealth. Keep learning and seeking information. Avoid unnecessary debt. Debt can quickly eat away at your wealth. Whenever possible, avoid spending beyond your means and try to pay your bills on time. Have a long-term mindset. Focus on long-term goals rather than quick wins. This helps you avoid making impulsive decisions that can harm your financial health. Diversify your investments. Don't put all your resources in one area. Spread your investments to minimize risk. Build an emergency fund. Having a financial reserve is crucial to deal with unforeseen events and crises, allowing you to avoid having to withdraw your investments in bad times. Monitor and adjust your strategies. Regularly review your investments and make adjustments as needed, but avoid acting on impulse. The truth is that making money may seem easy at times, but the real skill lies in how you manage and preserve that money over time. By cultivating a mindset focused on preserving wealth, you will be on the right path to achieving true financial security. And there you have it. Throughout this video, we explore the importance of cultivating a millionaire mindset and how it can impact your journey to wealth. Remember, being a millionaire is about more than just your bank balance. It's about having a mindset that values financial education, discipline, and perseverance. By adopting these principles, you'll not only be setting yourself up to make money, but also to keep it and make it grow. So, if you want to achieve true financial freedom and build a prosperous future, start working on your mindset today. With determination and the right strategies, you can transform your life and achieve your goals. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.